See, like, are in party mode, and it turns out there's one more name on that party list, and his name is Daniel Amartey, formerly, of course, played under Brendan Rodgers at Leicester. And let's talk about him. Let's see what's going to happen, because apparently Celtic are poised to sign him. And, he's a Premier League winner. Bear that in mind. This guy was a part of he was in the Leicester team that won the league now. Yeah, did he have the biggest part to play? I mean, we'll go through everything, but he's made 27 appearances this term for Besiktas, of course. He joined Besiktas last season as a free agent, which, you can kind of be surprised about. Rangers were linked with the guy last season, but Celtic, you'd wonder why Rodgers didn't attempt to get him last summer, but maybe his free transfer was already agreed before Rodgers had even, got a sniff at the Celtic job. But the reports are Marty's West African home country claim that Rodgers will seek to reunite with the 53 camp international this summer. The guy, loads of Premier League experience, loads of caps for his country. The guy's ticking a lot of boxes here, and he's a solid defensive midfielder. And if I look at Celtic, I think that's what Celtic's lacking. I think they're lacking a defensive midfielder, especially for Europe. I don't think you don't need it as much in the league, right? Of course you don't, but I think that's what Celtic are lacking. I do think they are lacking that midfielder that can do the damage in like the Champions League, be able to be a part. Like I think Amartey and Cal McGregor is the two sitting midfielders in the Champions League would do well, but obviously Celtic don't really do two sitting midfielders. They don't like a 4-2-3-1 sort of gimmick. Rangers do, and it doesn't work. But maybe Brendan Rodgers can get a tune out of a 4-2-3-1. But Amartey spent over 7 seasons in the Premier League, playing a small part in Leicester's shock title win of 2016 after arriving that January for Copenhagen. He then went on to help the East Midlands club win their first ever FA Cup under Rodgers' management in 2021. So, I mean, he made a total of 145 appearances for Leicester, scoring 3 goals. But in terms of his overall career, he is 29. He would be 30 on the 21st of December. He did start his career at Dusgardens IF, 34 appearances, no goals. He then went to Copenhagen, where he spent 2 years at 44 goals. He wishes 44 appearances, 3 goals. Then went to Leicester City, as I said earlier, 145 appearances all in with the 3 goals, and then obviously left them on a free. Joined Besiktas, and has played 27 games in total, only 18 games in the league. I think it would be a decent move for Celtic to sign this guy. Like I said, it's probably like Celtic do need to strengthen areas of the pitch, but I think it's an area of the pitch that they don't really have like a proper defensive mind. They don't have a CDM. Like Cal McGregor's not a CDM, right? Who else is not really a CDM? Awata's not. I think him and McGregor are more centre mids. But to be fair, I think you look across the board, right, and you look at like these like the best football teams, you don't really seem to get. Like, I think a proper all-out defensive-minded midfielder is kind of dying out to a degree. Like I think you look at Manchester United, who's their CDM? Don't really have any. You look at Liverpool, it's more of like a Celtic gimmick where they're more like all centre mids. Other teams, such as, I mean, I'm trying to think here. What other teams have we got realistically? I mean, Rodri is a CDM, but I do think in this modern day football gimmick that the CDM is a dying breed, and it's probably not going to happen. Especially, are Celtic going to look at it? Well, we're going to play 8 Champions League games. Does this guy necessarily need to come in? Who knows? Doesn't necessarily need to be him, but I think that's the one position that Celtic actually don't have in their team, an all-out CDM. You look at the rest of their team. I mean, what position are Celtic literally do not have? They have everything. But yeah, that's just my opinion. That's me looking for the inside, the outside in. What do Celtic fans think? Would you take Daniel Amartey? I don't know how much it would realistically cost. At the end of the day, of course, he just joined Besiktas last summer. They wouldn't let him go for free. They wouldn't let him go for peanuts. So would it be a good move? But Celtic, obviously, they've had a bid reject it. Tried to sign him last year too. So there you go. They must have tried to get him when he was a free agent. What do you think? Daniel Amartey, good deal, no deal? What's it going to be? Get the banker on the phone. Deal or no deal?